Welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we will learn style and CSS in HTML. First of all, what is style? Style means we can say makeup of the HTML and web page. We can create beauty of the HTML pages using this style. Also we can say CSS means cascading style sheet. There are three ways to implement this CSS into the HTML pages. First one is inline CSS, second one is internal CSS, and third one is external CSS. In inline CSS we are using style attribute and apply into the tag, and in internal and external CSS we create the class and IDs and apply the CSS property into the class, and then we are apply that class on tag using the class and ID attributes. So let me take the example of the style first. You can see here some text are displayed. Let me open into the editor and specify the style here. Start and going to specify color blue violet. Save and let me refresh, and you can see here this text color is changed. So we can specify color, font, size and many more using this style attribute. Second CSS type is internal CSS. We can specify using the style tag inside the head tag, and let's specify class name header, and going to specify here color brown, and I going to use this header class inside this h2 tag with the class attribute, and let me specify header here. Let me save and refresh the web page, and you can see the output. This is first h2, now brown instead of the black. So we can specify any of the CSS property inside this class. This is the class name, and inside of curly brackets all the CSS property. Let me create one ID, header ID, and let me specify the color red inside the header ID. Class declare with the dot and ID declare with the has prefix. Let me specify ID to h3 tag. Basically ID used for the JavaScript and class used for the CSS, because we can specify ID once into the page and we can specify more time class into the page. For example, I specified ID header ID into the h3. Now I cannot declare second time in this page this ID, but I can specify class in one or more element. So let me refresh the web page, and you can see here h3 is now red. So we can specify style using the ID and class. And third one is we can specify CSS using the tag. For example, I have h4 tag and I going to specify directly to the h4 tag color green. And you can see here now h4 is green. So we can specify CSS using tag as well. So directly specify tag name and specify the CSS property here. Now I'm going to use the external CSS. This is the internal CSS, this one is inline CSS, and now I'm going to create one file here and give the name index.css, and same thing I'm going to specify class from and let me remove this inline CSS, and just I need to specify CSS using the link tag, specify srs, now let me specify relation style sheet, and let me refresh. Let's refresh this page and you can see here still all the style is there. Let me view the